This is Chef Dana. He is the celebrity cake designer, everybody. He's known as the sugar daddy, the king of cakes, the cake doctor. He has been seen on many TV shows. He has been the winner of the Cake Box and famously known as the winner of TLC's Boss, Cake Bake Boss, the ultimate next great baker. Also on TLC's Ultimate Cake Off, Dana has been featured in the Essence magazines, Huffington Post, and many other magazines and appearances. And of course, we're going to add to this that you're now on Kitchen Talk with Leanne. How about that?
There you go.
Welcome. How are you doing, sir?
I am doing well. I woke up healthy, so I always say if you wake up healthy right now, you're wealthy.
That's right. That is right. Amen to that. So tell us a little bit about Chef Dana. And we're going to show a video of you right after you talk to us a little bit. But we want to hear a little bit about how you got started in the bakery business.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess who am I? I guess I'm just a follower of my Lord and Savior. You know, I try to walk the walk every day. I got started in I would say in the food, probably because of my grandmother. My grandmother could really burn. She's from Annapolis, so she has kind of that a little bit of Southern flair. But the Mid Atlantic has, you know, that kind of unique kind of style of cooking where they have a lot of fresh seafood. So crab cakes and shrimp and scallops were like a
Wow.
normal because they were plentiful, you know, in the area. Of course, grew up on a lot of potato salad.
Yeah,
I
I
swear,
know.
my grandma's got the best. So I guess you could say she planted that seed, and then from there, as I, you know, got older, I just kind of took to the food. I find myself at the edge of her counter waiting for those scraps from the cookie dough or the beater
Oh,
when she
wow.
cake or jams and jellies. And then as I got older, got into high school, I just started excelling, I guess, in all the cooking classes. From there, I went on to college at University of Delaware in hotel restaurant management. And when I left there, I went to culinary school. So
Wow.
I've been
Amazing.
working on my craft, I guess you could say, for years.
Wow. That's wonderful. Well, as I always say on my show, this is an interactive show now, which is great because we have some great things coming up on the show. Kitchen Talk is an interactive show, everybody. So if you're out there, you're watching, take the time, comment, put your comments below, say hello to Chef Dana, and give us your comments. You got any questions out there you want to ask them, this is the time. So, Chef Dana, we're going to show something here,
Okay.
one of your wins, and then we'll come back to you.
So who is it going to be? Is it going to be Megan or
So
Dana?
who's it gonna be? Is it gonna be Megan
Tough decision.
or Dana?
My mother? She thinks it's you, Dana. Mayor thinks it's you, Megan. The decision falls to me. This is a really tough decision. You know, both of you guys, I feel personally connected to. I've watched you evolve into two great bakers over the last 8 weeks. But now the question is, which one of you prevails? Which one of you two is the next great baker? This is the hardest decision I had to come through in a really long time, to be honest with you. The winner of $50,000 cash, the owner of a brand new Chevrolet Cruze, and the person who's gonna work side by side with me and my whole family at Carlos Bakery is Dana, the next great baker. Congratulations. Bring his family up. Bring your family up. Come on, bring your family up. Come on up here. Give Mama a hug. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Dad.
Thank you so much.
Should be so proud of him. Be so proud of him.
The next great baker, Dana!
Hey, I saw your face in the green room, and you were just
Bring back a lot of memories with that show. Even though you're going through this competition style setting, the contestants really form a bond. You guys are going through this rough situation together. And, I told them before we even started filming, we're all sitting there together. We hadn't even picked up icing bag yet. And I was like, we already won, right? And they were like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, you won. Like, you're here out of, 1,000 some odd people. It whittled down to, us 10 in the room. You won. Like, now we're just going to go through this dance and see who's going to, win the prize of the cash. But you already won. You're going to be on TV for like a couple years. It's going to be re-aired in these countries. You won. You won. And everybody said, whoa, I never thought about it like that. I said, yeah, this is a big one. This isn't a one-day competition. This is a season. God's blessed us.
wow. I mean, I think that's great. Everybody, again, we're here with Chef Dana. We just showed his win on TLC's the Next Great Bake, the Cake Boss winner, and I mean, I was grinning ear to ear. You had your family, your mother, your father, and I understand that your mom is no longer here with us. But tell us how you started to. I mean, did she have an influence in your cooking, and how did she feel about you going into this competition?
Mom's influence in my baking, and I mean, mom could cook. I still say grandmom's number one. She's hard to beat. However, mom was always that number one cheerleader. Those times when I was tired, or those times when I thought I couldn't, she'd be like, come on, you could do it. And she used to have this thing, even when I was a child, it was hung above my dresser, all things are possible to him that believeth. And it's funny, growing up, you're in church, but I really didn't get it then until after she was gone. And I'm just like, Mom, you've been trying to, you've been watering that seed for a long time. And now I get it. I get it. Wow. Even when I didn't, you did, and you kept pushing me.
Yeah. What has been your hardest challenge? I mean, of course, that was a lot of attention. I mean, first of all, I mean, I watch that. I watch all of them, all the chef shows and competitions. That is some grueling things to go through. I mean, even from the viewer's perspective. So, I mean, you're behind the scenes, so yeah, probably have to cut and come back but to develop a cake, how do you do that? I mean, what's your magic to it all?
Depending upon the style of show that you go on, you might get some, I don't even want to say hints, but you might get topics, let's say, for different episodes. So because we had to, bring some of our own things, they would just give you the episode title. It's up to you for complete interpretation, etc. So you might bring some things, but sometimes, you wind up on teams on the show. Your idea could just go smooth out the window.
Right.
So you have to really, on these type of shows, be able to adapt. And I mean, you got to do it quickly. The clocks on our show really didn't stop. Like, once they started, it kept rolling unless they had to change a battery pack or something. That'd be the only time they'd be like, okay, timeout. Might take all of a minute, and then boom, time starts right back up again. But you couldn't move.
Yeah.
Timeout.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, congratulations. I mean, I read off a lot of things I was not able to read on all of your accomplishments, all of your winnings that you've done, since you started, I'm assuming baking. Now you are the owner of Desserts by Dana. And I'm
Yeah.
going to show a few pictures of your beautiful cakes. Okay, so we're going
Okay.
to talk about the beautiful cakes that Chef Dana is doing here. I mean, this is just wonderful cakes. Look at the designs. Can you tell us a little bit about any one of these cakes? I mean, was it a special moment for someone?
We look at every client like it's a special moment.
Yeah.
We're blessed to be a part of their lives and in their celebrations. So some things we do might be simple because that's what the client wants. They might want just something classic and wholesome. And then other times we get to jump into some artwork, like the cake you just have had up. And they lived happily ever after. They were into Disney and kind of like that Cinderella feel. So they literally wanted the words on their cake. So it's our job to deliver on their dreams.
Wow.
We have to be attentive, we have to listen, and connect with the people that we serve. And then that's the way that we're able to deliver
Look
what
at
they
this
want.
one. This is amazing. Wow. What is that called?
That's, I call those my little fat boy treats. They're just like that candy coated, decadent goodness. We do them with all different kinds of candies, whether it's Reese's or Snickers, and things like that. The maraschino cherries, the chocolate drizzle, the caramel. So we just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's great.
When they say you can't play with your food, I think we kind of threw that right out the window.
Yes, you did. And also, you do have a date night with Dana.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
tell the viewers a little bit about that?
So what I have is an event called Date Night. It literally started when this pandemic happened. When I went to culinary school, I had no idea I was going to be a baker. And so I did the culinary track first, and then I stayed and did the pastry track.
Mhm.
When this pandemic happened, God told me, hey, listen, we're going to use the other side of your skills. And I was like, okay, what are we doing? And he's like, it's like I can hear him talking to me. We want to create an event for people to connect with this pandemic. When it started, it was very stressful. It left people feeling detached from each other. Mom and dad might not be both working from the house, and one would go out to work, the other one's working from home. But you're so exhausted when you get in, you just walk upstairs and say, "Hey,"
Right.
and you're in the. And so date night was developed just to bring people back together, have them doing something fun, something intimate in the kitchen, just the two of them, whether they were learning how to cook or just making a meal together that they could share.
Okay.
And that's how date night started.
Okay, wonderful. And you also work with young people.
I do. Date night became such a success that the parents were saying, "Hey, my kid wants to learn how to cook. They want to learn how to cook." And I thought about it for a little while, and I was like, "All right, let me see what these kids are gonna do." And I created Little Chefs. Let
Okay.
me tell you, these little chefs can rock and roll. Like they are making some stuff, and I'm like, "Wait a minute, you might put me out of business."
Right,
Like they're
right.
getting really good.
That's
Like
good.
this week coming, I think this Sunday, I'm making 3 meat spaghetti bolognese and focaccia. That's what the kids are making,
Mhm.
and I can't wait to see it because I know they're going to kill it.
Well, that's great. That's wonderful. Well, we have a couple of comments on here. Let's see. We have one from and Deborah is also a chef, Deborah Burton. She said, made it,
Hi,
loving
Deborah.
the show. Your girl Deb. All right, Deb. We love you. Thank you for joining. Thanks, Chef Deb. Thank you for joining the show. Everybody, if you just joined in, this is Kitchen Talk. I'm your host, Leanne Moore, and we have the celebrity cake designer, Chef Dana Herbert. Man, I mean, if you just joined, you missed the beginning part. We showed his winning on the show TLC Cake Box. But he is the owner of Desserts by Dana. And we're going to show everybody because I know people want to get a little more interested about I want to see some food. Again, we're going to talk a little bit about savory and sweet. And he's gonna, when we come back, we're gonna talk which one does he like best. So Chef Dana, we'll be right back. We're gonna show your suite here.
Okay.
All right.
Some bacon. This is applewood. It's one of my favorite. Who am I kidding? I love almost any bacon. The recipe here is simple because, you know, it's like if you're at home, you're not trying to kill yourself. You know what I mean? You just want something good, tasty, doesn't take all day. You can see the bacon on top. I always credit my grandmother for me wanting to cook, and I would sit at the edge of her counter and she would either talk me like sugar cookie scraps, or you know, she would make like different jams and jellies. I had that grandmother where it was like she would keep feeding you as long as you could keep eating it, and then probably a little bit beyond, so you would have to just tap out and be like, I can't. Set them right here.
All right, that's the suite, everybody. We're here with Chef Dana, and that's the suite. And we're going to go to the savory. All right, we'll be right back.
Green, don't touch it. Just blanch it. Hey, I'm Chef Dana, and welcome back to this episode of The Mix. Today we're going to make one of my favorite side dishes. We're going to do sauteed green beans with a little tomato and onions, and we're going to hit it with a little Chef Dana secret, sugared almonds. Now, you know what's nuts? Not almonds. All my life I thought an almond was a nut, and really it's a seed. It's the seed of a drope fruit. And it's got this hard shell. You crack it open, you take out the seed, and that's what we commonly buy in the store, whether it's slivered, sliced, blanched, whatever. We're eating the seed. So today, we're going to take that beautiful seed called an almond. We're going to put it into the bowl. We're going to add our sugar. And now the secret here is to add a little egg white. Pour a little bit of egg white on there. Beautiful. Now we're going to mix this around just like this so it gets a little pasty. And we're going to put it onto our sheet pan. Now you could use parchment, you don't have to. Just like this. Now I kind of spread it out a little bit. Okay. So now we're going to go to the oven, 350 degrees for about 15 minutes. And when you're all done, you have these beautiful almonds that look just like this. And these are great. I mean, they go well on a dish like this. They go great on salads. I love them, even as just a little snack. So now let's blanch our green beans. So we're going to take our green beans. We're going to just put them in some hot water, just like that. And that's basically what blanch means. Blanch means to put something in hot water. We're going to slide over here, and we're going to start on our tomatoes and onions. So I'm going to take a little bit of olive oil. Make sure your pan's about 350 degrees. And we're going to put our onions in here. Just julienne a few. We're going to put a little bit of tomato in here. Just like that. I'm going to season it with a little bit of salt and pepper. Get a little bit more flavor. And we're going to move it around just a little bit. Just like that. It's already smelling good. I wish you guys were here, right here with me, because it smells delicious. And now we're going to take some of our green beans that we have blanched, and we're going to put them right in the saute pan. And we're just going to toss them around a little bit. We want that flavor from the sauteed onions and tomatoes to marry with the green beans. Just like that. And that is looking delicious. Now, we're going to finish this off with just a little bit of butter. Put that in there till it melts. You cut your heat. And you just let the butter just glaze the green beans and the tomatoes and the onions. That is looking so good. So we got our plate here. And we're going to put a little bit of our green beans and sauteed onions and tomatoes on there, just like that. And then we're just going to top it off with a little bit of sugared almonds. And there you go. I'm Chef Dana.
That was delicious.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
we
you.
started that savory. I think you got me at the bacon on that one. That was very delicious. And I saw you in the green room looking at it, and it's like looking at a newborn baby. You were smiling, you were excited about seeing yourself. I mean, what goes through your head when you see your videos?
You know, I guess it's really like that
Yeah.
passion I have for cooking, the passion I have for feeding people, and seeing them smile. You know, like just here looking at you on the
Yes.
screen and seeing you smile, looking at some of the differences.
Yeah.
It warms the heart. And
Good.
that's why
Good. Well,
I'm in
we
this
got a
business.
few comments. We have one from Sabrina, said, "So hungry now." I know. And thanks, Sabrina, for watching Kitchen Talk. And it,
I was
yes.
thinking the same.
And Reggie, how you doing, Reggie? Thanks for watching the show. Let's go, Leanne Moore. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching Kitchen Talk. And you know, I what I got, I was just, you look like a natural when you're doing that. You know, it's not easy being on TV. I mean, you know that. I'm telling you, it's not easy.
Mhm. No, it's not. The way you move is different. You know, you're always cognizant of the cameras being there. Which camera should I be turning to at this time? So it definitely takes some getting used to.
Right. I know. We have another comment says, "Looks delish." It does look delish, and he said it smelled good. One of these days, Chef, we're gonna have to bring you to California so we could do a live show. How about that?
Amen.
All right.
Amen.
All
We
right.
do it.
Yeah, that was our guest, one of the Kitchen Talk fans, Miss Dorothy Panton. Matter of fact, Miss Panton was my first like when I announced my show. She was the first person that liked and probably watched my show, the first person. So I thank her for continuing to watch the show. Yeah, that's Miss Dorothy Panton. Yes. So, again, everybody, if you're out there, you have comments for Chef Dana. He's here. I don't know when I'm going to get him back. I'm telling you guys, he's a busy man, and I was truly blessed when he accepted my invitation to come on the show. But he's here if you got any questions for him. And Chef, if someone out there, these young people, perhaps an older, mature person that is inspired by you. You've inspired me, definitely. What could you tell them if they want to become a chef?
You know, for the young people especially, I would say you have to be willing, especially in the beginning, to do the things that everybody else doesn't want to do. Something that might not seem so glorious or whatnot. But you'll find that over time, you built up this level of skill where now it makes you indisposable, because they'll be like, wow, he knows how to do all this stuff from beginning to end. You know, a lot of people want to skip the process, so to speak. And in skipping parts of the process, you really are just creating weaknesses in your career further down the line. So don't be afraid to jump into some positions that are hard, that could be strenuous. They could take a lot of tedious handwork, but I promise you, you're going to be better than the rest at the end of the day that are skipping those steps. I promise you.
Great suggestion.
Yep,
As I was, reading up on you and a lot of events that you attended a conference and you gave some tips on having your own business. And one of the things I think you said was having a great team behind you. And that was one of the tips that I pulled out. Being in real estate, that is true. You have to have a team behind you to make sure that everything comes together. Your glue. That's your glue.
Yes. I mean, a team of one really isn't a team.
No, you're right.
And you really have to recognize, as you're walking in your purpose might be to do this, A, but their purpose might be B. And in order to do something better, A and B need to come together to make C. And so you have to value the people that are on your team. You have to be able to push them when they need to be pushed. But then you also have to be able to let off the throttle when you know that they need a second. That's just a sign of a good leader, when you can say, and I'm an Aries. So I'm used to running up the hill with the sword out, and I'm going. And I'm like, wait a minute, where's everybody at?
Right.
But you have to recognize where they are, how to motivate them, and when they need a minute, because everybody's human and we go through different things. So sometimes they need a minute to regroup, and it'll actually make them better.
That's true. Well, I'm sure you have a great team there at Desserts by Dana. Again, I want to thank you for coming on the show. We have some housekeeping things we need to play on the show, our sponsors, but we're going to play the last video. But again, I want to thank you for taking your busy time out, baking those beautiful, delicious cakes. And I would love to have you back, because I know you have some great things planned for the future. And you're more than welcome to come back on Kitchen Talk and tell the world what you want introduced, whatever it is you are going to do. And the doors are always open for you here.
Oh, thank you, Leanne.
Okay. All right. And I'm going to play this video, and we'll be in touch.
Okay.
All right.
I think what makes the Chef Dana experience unique is that, a long time ago I fell in love with food, and I think that food translates to love. Being around, a lot of famous people has been cool, but honestly, what inspires me is the everyday person. Joe from the butcher shop, and Michael from the karate studio, and Lisa from the supermarket. Everyday people that want to make great food. That's what really inspires me.
If something's breaking, you can whip it back together. Pastry, you mess the cake up, the cake is just done. So I had to learn things I could wing and things I couldn't. So I think that's what kind of made me a decent pastry chef as well, because I could pull apart things in pastry and be like, you can wing that, but then other things it's like, no, you can't wing that one. But the stuff I was winging, people were like, you can't do that. I'm like, I just did,
Social media is great for the industry and what it's done. A lot more people are seeing all the different culinary trends that are happening out there, but it's still nothing like connecting in person. You know, you can see me on the internet, you can check out my recipes on the internet, but you can't touch me on the internet. You can't look me in the eye and kind of feel my raw emotion coming out when I'm cooking or teaching or laughing, you know, with everybody at the Chef Dana Experience.
Chef Dana Herbert, the designer for the celebrities. And fascinating. I mean, if you all watched from the beginning of the show, from his dessert to the savory, I mean, everything looks beautiful. The cakes are beautiful. And again, he's the owner and CEO of Desserts by Dana. And wow, I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Let's see what kind of comments we have on the show. Carl, how you doing, Carl? Enjoyed this show. Thank you for watching, Carl. Thank you for watching Kitchen Talk. Again, everybody, Kitchen Talk is an interactive show. We want you to put your comments below, like, share, and subscribe. And if you have time, all of our guests, I always say, please visit our guest website. Go to their Facebook page, like their page, share their businesses, because we're all in this together and we want to support each other. So we have the 2020 census that we need to put their infomercial up now, so you all will know what's going on with the 2020 census, okay?
By completing the 2020 census.
The census impacts hospitals,
Schools.
public transportation,
and most importantly, our representation in government.
It gives us an opportunity to be heard.
It's easy.
It's only 10 questions.
So do your part.
Go to 2020census.gov and complete the census today.
What are you waiting for?
All right, everybody. Welcome back to Kitchen Talk. And that was the information from the 2020 census. You can visit 2020census.gov. The census is moving to its final stages. I understand that they are closing the census, I believe a week. Is it a week or a month earlier? And we are encouraging everyone to please go to 2020census.gov. This, I mean, it's very important. It's if your parts, your representation in the Senate, food plans in your community, anything involved in your community, they count heads. And we want everybody to be accounted for during this census registration. So please visit 2020census.gov and please register and be counted. Okay? All right. And our next sponsor is California Home Care Provider, assistance with activities of daily living. With our gentle touch, we will care for you with all our hearts. Bell Home Care is located in Pasadena, California. You can reach them at 626-541-6851. 626-541-6851. Everybody, want to thank everybody for joining Kitchen Talk today. We had a wonderful show. And we want to again thanks to Chef Dana for coming on the show. And I really enjoyed, just watching him making the wonderful savory dish and his desserts. So we're going to see you next week. I want to say stay safe. Please wear your mask. Please be careful. This COVID is serious and we all need to protect each other. So again, be safe out there, everybody. And I'll see you next week, next Thursday on Kitchen Talk with Leanne. You all have a wonderful day. Stay blessed, stay safe.